Harihi Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunatu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are now text 41 to 43. So this is now we're describing the different avatars. Avesha, Vaibhava, Prabhava and Paravasta. Avesha, Prabhava, Vaibhava and Paravasta. So now we're talking about the Avesha avatars. The Lord does not appear in Kali Yuga directly, in visible form, as in the other yugas. Thus he is described as appearing in 3 yugas. At the end of Kali Yuga, Vasudeva enters into Kalki, a teacher of spiritual matters, and protects the world. So Kalki became a teacher of spiritual matters. How is that happening? What is he teaching? Entering in Kali Yuga into those jivas who have previously appeared, the Lord carries out his desired activities. So that means sometimes these Yuga avatars, they are jivas, and they are invested with the power of the Lord. And sometimes they are the Lord directly. But it's just interesting that in Kali Yuga, Vasudeva enters into Kalki, a teacher of spiritual matters. So he's teaching by the sword. The ultimate argumentum ad baculum. Humility. He's teacher of humility. Okay? But one should not say that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who also appears in Kali Yuga, is not a directly visible form of the Lord. Okay, so one shouldn't say that. Because the Lord is Tri Yuga, it doesn't mean that this applies to Mahaprabhu, because he is directly visible. In other words, one shouldn't use this as an argument that this is not the avatari, the Supreme Lord. Mahaprabhu is visible. It says it's Tri Yuga, so this cannot be the Lord. That's the critic logic somebody may employ. Here, explicitly, it is stated. One should not say that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who also appears in Kali Yuga, is not a directly visible form of the Lord. He is not actually the Yuga avatar of Kali. So he's not the Yuga avatar. The regular Kali Yuga avatar is black and is a jiva. According to the words of Garga, in a special Kali Yuga, the Lord himself, not a jiva, appears in a yellow form. So this is the special Kali Yuga, and the Lord himself, not a jiva, appears in a golden form. The black form enters into the golden form of Lord Chaitanya when Lord Chaitanya appears. This resolves the problem. Okay. So, yeah.
So there are 1,000 Kali Yugas. So right. The Lord Chaitanya only comes once in 1,000.
Once in 1,000, yeah. Amazing. And Krishna too. So, These are good fortune.
And all the Kali Yugas, it's Avesha. It's
Yeah.
the entity which is empowered by the Lord.
Yeah, and it's black.
Or the Lord can enter with
Yeah.
him, but acts through him, but actually the Jiva is done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But do you get the real point that only now do we get this opportunity for Krishna prema?
Yeah, only now.
Very different. So be careful next time you.
Yeah. Therefore, I think some of the acharyas, they say that if somebody is born in this Kali Yuga, after Lord Chaitanya appears, and although he's born in a human form, which is a great treasure, Adruvam Artadam, although it is impermanent, it gives the greatest benefit, this human form of life. But if he doesn't engage in service of Yuga Avatara, of Yuga Dharma, then better he is not born. That's what they say. Better he's not born as a human. Better he's born as animal or something, not as a human being. Because he will use the chance, and it's such a great loss. But anyway, there is 10,000 years, right? So he may be born again and again for these 10,000 years. So it's still chance, even if he doesn't take it in this lifetime. And then he has to wait for the next kalpa. Not Shvetavaraha kalpa, next one. Okay, thus it should be understood that calling the Avesha forms avataras of the Lord is secondary designation, since they are actually jivas. So they are Aveshas. They are avatars of the Lord, but they are jivas. So this is the first category. Incarnation, but jiva tattva. Amishu refers to forms starting with the Kumaras, including Narada, Prithu, Parashuram, and ending with Kalki. Footnote 24. This means that Dattatreya, Kapila, Rishabha, Dhanvantari, Mohini, as well as the 14 Manvantara avatars and Yuga avatars are Ishvara forms. Now they are Ishvara forms, the Yuga avatars. Okay, maybe there are some exceptions.
Apart from the Kali Yuga.
Yeah, there are some exceptions always. So these are Ishvara forms, which is logical because they appear through the Manvantara avatar, so they are his expansions, the Yuga avatars. This is confirmed in the list of Prabhava and Vaibhava forms that follows. So here's the list. The four Kumaras, Narada, Prithu, Parashurama, Kalki, Shesha, who holds up the earth, and sometimes Brahma and Shiva are jivas. Okay, these are the jivas. So Kalki is a jiva. Buddha is not mentioned in the list of Avesha avatars or the list of Prabhava and Vaibhava forms. However, it is safe to assume he is an Avesha form, since the list of Avesha forms mentioned here is not limited to the list given. He also appears in Kali Yuga when the Lord does not appear directly. So it's safe to assume that he is Avesha will mean he is what, Jiva or the Lord? He's the Jiva. Okay. Okay. Where are we? Okay. Text 45. These forms of the Lord with less power than the Paravasta forms are described according to the degree of power that they show. Now begins a description of the general characteristics of the Prabhava and the Vaibhava forms. The difference is here described. The Prabhava forms have less power and the Vaibhava forms have more power. So the first are the Avesha forms, which include the Jivas, and then they are more powerful forms. And they are Prabhava and Vaibhava. Vaibhava is more powerful, Prabhava is less. Of course, it means they manifest less powers. It doesn't mean that they, in fact, have less powers. They all have equal powers because they are the Lord. Text 46. According to the scriptures, the Prabhava forms are of two. Now, in the Prabhava forms, there are two categories. Two types. The first type appears for a short period of time and is not well known. These are Mohini Hamsa, and the white, red, Shyama, and black forms of the Yuga avataras. The Prabhava forms are divided according to qualities shown by the forms. There are 6 forms which do not remain for a long period. The second type of the Prabhava forms are Dhanvantari, Rishabha, footnote 25. In Bhagavad Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami indicates Rishabha as an Avesha avatar. Okay. The second type are Dhanvantari, Rishabha, Vyasa, Dattatreya, and Kapila. They are writers of scriptures and act like sages. These forms remain visible for a longer period of time and act like sages, such as Dhanvantari. There are 5 in this category. The total number of Prabhava forms is 11, so there are 6 of the first category and 5 of the second. Now we go to the Vaibhava forms. There are 21 Vaibhava forms: Kurma, Matsya, Naranarayana, Varaha, Hayagriva, Krishnagarbha, Baladeva, and the 14 Manvantara avatars, including Yagya and Vamana. Now begins the description of the characteristics of the Vaibhava forms, which display more power than the Prabhava forms. Nara and Narayana are counted as one form, although there are 2.
I never understood that.
Well, in the same way, the 4 Kumaras are counted as one, but there are 4.
Other 9 Yugendras?
Yeah, Navagendras. They are Ashwini Kumaras. Krishna and Arjuna, they are 2 separate personalities, but they're together, like friends. Many examples are nice.
Radha Krishna.
Radha Krishna, they are,
You say it's between Lord
yeah, they're more like 1 than 2, but yeah, they're a couple. So when we offer flower, that's my dilemma many times when I do my puja and I have picture of Radha Madhava, so I have to offer 2 flowers to them, right?
Must be that they have the same goal or purpose in life, so then they count it as fulfilling that purpose.
Yeah, this is the problem with the Mayavadis. They don't understand this simple point that unity doesn't mean merging into one another. It means that you have a couple and there are 2 persons, but since they have one purpose, you refer them as a specific entity. They're not 2 they're not just 2 separated persons, but they are a couple, so it's one unit. But they're still individuals. This they cannot understand. They just don't have the capacity. Prabhupada says their poor fund of knowledge doesn't allow them sufficient enlightenment to understand this simple point. Yeah. And when we are we have separate interests, then we are separate from the Lord. Then we are bahirmukh. We turn away our face from the Lord. We think we have separate interests from the Lord. Okay, so there are 21 Vaibhava forms. We read this. Now begins Naranarayana counted as one form. Thus the total comes to 21. Yagya Adi refers to the 14 Manvantara avatars. Varaha and Hayagriva among the Navavyuha. Navavyuha are those, right? No, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. Varaha and Hayagriva among the Navavyuha, and Hari, Vaikunta, Ajita, and Vamana among the Manvantara avatars. Though Vaibhava forms are considered similar to Paravasta forms. So Paravasta are 3. Nrsimha, Rama, and Krishna. So those, although they are technically Vaibhava forms, they are more prominent and they are considered similar to the Paravasta forms. And they are Varaha, Hayagriva, Hari, Vaikunta, Jita, and Vamana. Among the 21 Vaibhava forms, special ones such as Varaha are now mentioned. The Navavyuha are as follows. Navavyuha consists of Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, Narayana, Nrisimha, Hayagriva, Varaha and Brahma. Varaha and Hayagriva among the Navavyuha, and Hari, Vaikunta, Ajita and Vamana among the Manvantara avatars, making a total of 6 avatars, are similar to the Paravasta forms. Among the 21 Vaibhava forms, these are outstanding because of having additional powers. Footnote.
When it is said Brahma,
Brahma. Yeah. Doesn't say. So, because it doesn't say, we have to take the literal meaning. That's the rule. The literal meaning is Brahma, the four-headed Brahma. The direct meaning. So 26. The remaining forms, Nrisimha, Rama and Krishna, are considered Paravasta, superior position forms. So these are the highest forms. Text 52. The places where some of these avatars reside within the universe will now be described according to scriptures. The statements of Vishnu, Dharmotara and other scriptures are presented as proof. So this section I will answer all these very esoteric questions. So where is the abode of Kurma, for example, or Varaha, or this form? Because they have eternal form, that means they should have eternal abode. Where is it? It's in Vaikuntha and also it's here in this material universe. Okay, in Vishnu Dharmotara it is said, above Tala Tala is the place called Mahatala, the 5th hellish planet of a similar dimension. So here it says hellish planet, but it is not hellish planet. It's not torture chamber, just like in hell, but it is Bilasvarga planet, right? It is heaven for atheistic living entities. So it appears that all places in this universe, except for this place where we are now, is a place where living entities are receiving the results of their karma. They are enjoying life in heaven, in Bilasvarga, and in there are 3 heavenly planets: Bilasvarga, Svarga, and how we call this, the earthly heavenly planets. There are different places in Jambudvip and Bhumandala. And even the coverings, the shells of the universe, they are also heavenly realms. And there is hell. So you either enjoy or suffer. And only here, on this planet, it is neither for enjoyment, neither for suffering. It is Karmastan, Punya Bhumi. It is the place where we're supposed to, not to make ourselves comfortable, because it doesn't work. Our lifespan is very short, and our bodies are not meant for enjoyment. They are meant for devotional service, for tapasya, for karma, for pious activities, and for the most ultimate pious activity, which is pure devotional service. So, even if you're a materialist, then you will not use this human form as a vehicle for sense enjoyment, because it doesn't work in this way. You cannot use it in this way. You will have to perform tapasya now, follow some vrata, some yagya, some austerity, and then go to heaven. This is the proper way. It's not here. Here doesn't work. And people are so foolish. We are so foolish in Kali Yuga. We want to make this place heaven. It is not meant to be. Of course, Prabhupada also said in one Ratha Yatra, if you, young boys and girls in the Western countries in America, if you take this Krishna consciousness seriously, then this planet will turn into Vaikuntha. He said that. But that's a different thing. It's a spiritual paradise. But as far as having permanent, nice situation here, especially in Kali Yuga, that's not possible. Some Christian groups, they also have this idea that this planet will turn into heaven. The Jehovah's Witnesses, I think this is their philosophy. And it will turn into heaven, but after Kalki appears, then it will become Satya Yuga. It will be heaven. Yes.
It's just like that. It's not just this earth that we live on that has this karma where you go up or down. It's all of the earths. Actually, they worship the sun god because they want to go up.
Oh, so it's also karma stone.
Yeah, it's all earths.
So Bhumandal is karma stone.
Yeah. And you can go down, you can go to the lower heavens, or you can go up.
Because in 5th canto also there is a description of these earthly heavenly planets where you end up after exhausting your heaven's credit.
That's Jambudvip.
It's Jambudvip.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go to Satyaloka and then you come here to this earth in Jambudvip. And then you come here to this island.
So it's like you are in some very fancy resort and then you finish your money run away. So you don't have money even to stay one night there anymore in this fancy place. But you still have money to stay many, many years in some not so fancy resort. So they move you there and you stay and enjoy life for another so many years and then you end up again here. That's the...
Exactly. But also, like I mentioned, this idea of the Jehovah's Witnesses, it's not actually a bad thing. It's the same as our idea of the 10,000 years of the Golden Age.
Okay. Yeah.
They have a similar conception, whatever it is.
Okay.
But in the Bhagavatamrita, just mentioned, Prabhupada said, although Krishna said, that heaven is a place primarily in goodness. That's the difference. Bhumandala is passion.
Passion, yeah.
Yeah.
And in between is, I guess, Jambudvip, which is some passion but also some goodness because there's...
All the human platform is passion. Because even Indra, he's still fighting with avataras, so that's passion.
It's interesting, Indra is considered... So the demigod forms are human forms.
Yes, there's two.
They're higher.
There's two forms, human and then etheric. And the ones in etheric, that's heaven. Mahajana, Tapa and Satya.
Yeah. Above Tala Tala, where are we?
Yes, we didn't finish it.
Okay, the Vishnu Dharmatara it is said. Above Tala Tala is a place called Mahatala, the 5th hellish planet of a similar dimension. It is red in color. It has a lake measuring 100,000 yojanas. In that place, Kurma resides. Above Tala Tala and of the same dimension lies another planet, Rasatala, with an attractive lake measuring 300 yojanas. Matsya resides there. Footnote, the Vishnu Dharmatara Purana names the Patala planets differently and places them in a different order than Srimad Bhagavatam. Calling the lower Patala, calling the lowest Patala, the next above Sutala and the others in order Abhasatala, Garbhastitala, which Srila Baladevi Vibhushan identifies as with Talatala, Mahatala, Bhimatala, the same as Rasatala according to Srila Baladeva, and second Bhimatala. Okay, different names of these realms.
Some things in this book are not correct, you know that?
Somewhat?
Some things in this book are not correct.
Yeah, I don't know.
3 things.
Yeah, maybe you can mention, we can note them, and then we can try to see what's the problem.
I mentioned to you some days back about Hayagriva resurrecting the Vedas, and that was a lot. And then when you read it, Hayagriva, it said was a demon. So I went in the Bhagavatam and checked it, and Hayagriva is the Lord. He's not a demon.
But there is also demon Hayagriva.
He was called Madhu. Hayagriva stole the Vedas from Madhu demon. That's in the 11th canto. It's mentioned that the 9 new dangers. There are a few things. Also, I mentioned that Daksha Maharaj was not born in Swayambhu Manu's realm because it mentioned that Swayambhu Manu's descendants didn't have any offspring. But we know Priyavrata and Viduma, they all their offspring. So some small things.
Some things they have to be looked. looked up. Okay, Narayana, the friend of Nara, lives in Badarikashrama. So they are here. The abode of Varaha, who is in half human and half boar, is in Maharloka. It measures 3 million yojanas. So this refers to Nri Varaha, the form of Lord Varaha, as half man, half boar. The attractive abode of Shesha measures 500,000 yojanas. It is said that the abode of Varaha is self-effulgent. It is below the other planets and it touches the shell of the universe. The white-collared Varaha lives there. So this
The one
is...
Varaha is in the heaven, this one Varaha is
Yeah, this is a footnote. This verse refers to the abode of the four-legged Shveta Varaha. According to Vishnu Dharmotara, it lies below the 7 Patala regions and the planet of Kalagni Rudra. Yes. At the bottom.
Yeah, in my research of the 5th canto, there's not just 7 islands, there's 9. So there's the whole of Bhumandala out to Pushkara Dweep, and then there's other areas called the Golden Land, and then an area after that.
Yeah.
And there's some discrepancy between Vishwanath and Srila Prabhupada, who write 2 different things. And those places on Bhumandala, they also have a corresponding area at the top and a corresponding area at the bottom. So this would align with my thinking. There are not just 7, there are 9.
So you have the Bhumandala, and then it reaches the Loka mountain, and then beyond this mountain, the sun doesn't shine.
Yeah.
But there are still living entities there.
There's living entities.
And it's a rather large tract of land.
One area aligns with Brahmaloka, so the Satyaloka, and then there's Brahmaloka, which is a different thing, and that aligns at the bottom with Patala, which is in hell. Patala and Brahma are the same circle, and then the next circle out aligns with this one, which is Mahesh Loka, and the area you're talking about after Loka Mountain, and that aligns with this what's spoken here.
Yeah, interesting.
They're all circles, you see.
So the demigods, they have abodes in different locations also.
Yeah.
Like Brahma has a place on the Sumeru mountain, and all of them they have there. And also
heavenly results.
Yeah, and Manasotra mountain as well.
Yeah, that's right, on Pushkar. Yeah. And they also have abodes in the Shaka ocean before Pushkar, before Manasotra mountain. There are different called Digpalas, the directions of the Devatas, and they're different again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many things which we don't know.
Intricate.
Above this lies another abode called Garbhishtitala. It is yellow in color. It is the 4th planet from the bottom. High Shirsha resides there. He is white like 100 moons and wears gold ornaments. So it's interesting, these are atheistic realms, but the Lord resides there. Like all of these incarnations, Kurma, Matsya, they...
But they're not just atheistic, like I said, they've got circles in the higher regions as well. It's the same, it's known as the same sphere.
I wonder, is it something similar to, I think Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that somewhere, the different species of life, there is certain avatar of Krishna that is responsible for those. Like for the lower species is this type of Varaha, Matsya, Kurma, like this. The lower level of consciousness, you have these incarnations. You remember this? Reading somewhere. Anyway. Okay, he is white like 100 moons and wears gold ornaments. The abode of Prishnigarbha lies above the planet of Brahma. So now we go up, all the way up. The abode of Balaram is the same as that of Krishna. Balaram's portion Shesha resides always on Patalaloka. His flag marked with a palm tree. He is an eloquent speaker and is decorated with garlands of forest flowers. Above his head, he always carries a number of hoods bedecked with jewels. He has a plough, a club, and a sword. He is arrayed in blue garments. Vishnu Dharmottara Purana. Where does the Shesha who holds up the universe resides? This verse answers, this Shesha is an Avesha avatara. He is called eloquent because he speaks Bhagavatam to the Kumaras. Therefore, Schotra Maharaj said that he is the original Bhagavatam speaker. And the 4 Kumaras, they go down at the bottom of the universe to hear Bhagavatam. And then this vibration, which is the original sound vibration of the universe, it goes up in the universe and then enters the consciousness of all living entities. And because the consciousness is polluted to different degrees, therefore, from this vibration, originally pure, transcendental, appear so many other topics. This is what Bhagavad Gita says, Bahushaka Hyanantascha, many branched, or Bhagavatam. What was the Sahasra, what was the verse Bhagavatam? They have many topics to discuss, the materialists. Shatavadina Rajandra. Nrinam Shanti Sahasra. So all these different topics, they appear because the false ego in different modes gradually contaminates and perverts this original vibration. Therefore, Mahabharata says that whatever is in other books, you will find it in this book, but there are many things here that you will not find anywhere else. This is a unique book. Therefore, also the acharyas, they explain how when the demons, they try to blaspheme the Lord, what actually they say is a glorification of the Lord. Because the language itself is coming from the Lord, and it is meant to glorify the Lord. So whatever they try to do, the real meaning is always glorification of the Lord. Their intent is not good, but they are not the controllers, and they cannot determine the dharma of the language itself. It is already predetermined by the Lord. So anybody can say in this universe, only the devotees, they can actually determine the real meaning of this saying. They can find the real meaning. Although this was not originally the intent of the speaker, but the meaning is independent from him. Therefore, in Bhagavatam, the Nagapatnis, they pray to the Lord and they say, Namo Anantaya Sukshmaya Kutastaya Vipashchite Nano Vadanurodaya Vachya Vachaka Shaktaye. You are the words and you are the ideas presented by the words. So you are Krishna is everything. So nothing can exist independent from him. Okay, next. 63. The planet of Hari is above Brahmaloka. The abodes of the 4 prominent Manvantara avatars, Hari, Vaikuntha, Ajita, and Vamana, are now described in 6 lines. The abode of the Lord named Vaikuntha is on Svargaloka, while Vaikuntha Loka manifests. So he manifested this. Some say he manifested this because of his mother, and some say because his wife wanted. So, in either way, the abode of Ajita is on Dhruvaloka. Okay, so now you said something interesting, that Dhruvaloka is separate from Vaikuntha.
Prabhupada said it's very close.
It's very close.
To the pole star. Yeah.
Okay.
And the pole star is the Vaikuntha planet?
So the pole star is actually Vaikuntha planet then?
Yeah.
So we can see the spiritual world. We can see it. It's right there.
The effulgence. It looks like light.
Yeah, Brahmajyoti, right? That's what we're qualified to see. Okay, the abode of Ajita is on Dhruvaloka. Vamana's abode is on Bhuvarloka. Burbhuvasva. Bhuvarloka. Bhuvarloka means Antariksha then, in between heaven and earth. Vamana's abode is on Bhuvarloka. Vamana also lives on Tapoloka and Brahmaloka. He also built an abode on the upper part of Brahmaloka, Vishnu Dharmatara Purana. Many different abodes. Indra describes the places of Vamana to Narada in Harivamsha. O great sage, having broken Svarga with his footsteps, Trivikrama made his abodes in the planets above Svarga up to Brahmaloka. O Narada, have broken Svarga with his foot, he has made his attractive abodes above the upper planets, from Tapoloka to Brahmaloka. It is described in the scriptures that the remarkable abodes of all the avatars exist in the spiritual world. This verse describes that all the avatars have abodes in the spiritual world as well. It is said in the Padma Purana, all the dazzling avatars, such as Matsya and Kurma, reside in the eternal Vaikuntha world. Thus ends the description of the abodes of the avatars. In Laghu Bhagavatamrita, when Gopkumara goes to Vaikuntha, there is a description of different forms of the Lord and different forms of the devotees. So the devotees in Vaikuntha, some of them, they look like Nrsimhadev because they have worshipped Nrsimhadev, so they acquired his form. And some other devotees, they look like different forms of the Lord. Some they have different colors. So according to the sadhana that we follow, we'll acquire certain mood and form in the spiritual world. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada says that we should worship only Krishna. Chapter 5, discussion of the Paravasta forms. Okay, so we discussed the Purusha avatars, then the Guna avatars, then the Manvatara avatars, the Yuga avatars, the Lila avatars, and then there was different classification given by Rupa Goswami, Avesha, Prabhava, Vaibhava, and Paravasta forms. So now we are discussing the highest category, the Paravasta forms. The analysis of the divisions of Godhead presented so far by Srila Rupa Goswami establishes that Krishna is the original form of the Supreme and the fountainhead of all incarnations. Moreover, the husband, goddess Shri, and all others forms of God are his Vilasa, Svamsha, and Avesha expansions. This conclusion is unacceptable to some, like the followers of the teacher Vishvaksena, who say instead that Krishna is an expansion of either Naranarayana or Vamanadeva. The purpose of this chapter is to prove how Krishna is nothing less than the one and only Swayam Rupa. Rupa Goswami begins by citing the Purva Paksha and its supporting evidence that Krishna is the expansion of Naranarayana or Vamana. A follower of the opinions of Vishvaksena might be confused by scriptural statements such as this. Therefore, Rupa Goswami gives the real meaning here. Okay, now, text 1. Some say that Krishna is an avatara of the brother of Nara, or that he is an avatara of Vamana. He appears in this way to those who do not know the conclusion of the scriptures. The author has shown that Krishna is the Swayam Rupa and Narayana and others are his Vilasa forms. However, adherents of Vishnu cannot tolerate this and present arguments against it. The author presents and defeats these arguments. Some say that Krishna is an avatara of the brother of Nara, the avatar of the Lord of Badari, Narayana, and others say he is an avatar of Vamana. For those who do not correctly analyze the scriptures and take a superficial meaning, Krishna appears to be an avatar of Vishnu forms. Those who are intelligent accept Krishna as the primary form. Skanda Purana says, Dharma putrau harer amshau nara narayana pidau chandra vamsham anuprapya jatau krishna arjunav ubhav. Skanda Purana says, the portion of the Lord Nara and Narayana, sons of King Dharma, accepted birth in the dynasty of the moon and became Krishna and Arjuna. Here, the misinterpreted scriptural statements for Krishna being an expansion of Vishnu are given. So this is their proof. This is what they quote to oppose us. So therefore they are called Purva Paksha. Purva Pakshi is the opponent. The meaning of the statement is clear. However, the meaning can be taken in another way. Krishna and Arjuna are the subjects of the sentence and Nara-Narayana are the objects. Thus the meaning is Krishna and Arjuna, who united with the forms of Nara-Narayana, then appeared on earth through the moon dynasty. That is because when Krishna appears, all of his amshas enter him and appear with him. So this is the correct understanding. This was text 2. The commentary to text 2.
It's all about reading the verse in one way or another.
Yeah, grammar.
I've seen that mistake in other things as well. You can read a verse in one way or another.
Yeah. And also, we have our Paribhasha Sutra of Bhagavatam, Eticham Shakalapam Sam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, Indra Arivaykulam Lokam, Mridyanti Yuge Yuge. According to our acharyas, this is the main verse of Bhagavatam, and in the whole, because Bhagavatam is the emperor amongst all Pramanas, so the Paribhasha Sutra of Bhagavatam means this is the Mahavakya of the whole Vedic literature. And every verse from Bhagavatam or from any other scripture must be in alliance, in accordance with this verse. It cannot contradict the Paribhasha Sutra. So whatever we encounter, we always interpret it according to this verse. Therefore, here the meaning of this verse is like this, as the acharyas say. Clear? Yeah. Text 3. In the 4th canto it is said that Nara-Narayana Rishi, who is a partial expansion of Kshirodakashai, has now appeared on earth in the dynasty of Yadu and Kuru in the forms of Krishna and Arjuna respectively, to mitigate the burden of the world. The real meaning is as follows. Nara-Narayana, at the end of Dvapara, entered into Krishna and Arjuna. Narayana entered Krishna and Nara entered Arjuna. Supporting statement is found in the 10th canto. After fully worshipping the great sage of the demigods according to Vedic injunctions, Lord Krishna, who is himself the original sage, Narayana, the friend of Nara, conversed with Narada, and the Lord's measured speech was as sweet as nectar. Finally, the Lord asked Narada, "What may we do for you, our Lord and Master?" The Bhagavatam supports this. Krishna, who is called Narayana because he is the shelter of all principles and elements, and who is called the ancient sage because he gave teachings to Brahma at the beginning of the Kalpa, and who is called Nara Saka because he performs pastimes with humans, and who is called Deva because he performs pastimes as a Kshatriya, after worshipping Narada according to the rules, spoke to him. Indra speaks in the Harivamsha of Krishna being an avatara of Vamana. O sage, I gave this share of sacrifice previously to Vishnu. O Narada, now I am seeing Krishna as my younger brother Vamana. We skipped this footnote. Okay. Having shown the arguments for Krishna being a portion of Narayana, now the author gives a quotation to show that Krishna is a portion of Vamana. Okay, so he dealt first with the first argument, and now the first doubt, and now the second doubt, because the first was that he is a portion of Narayana, and now he's portion of Vamana. So this is the proof that they will quote, that Krishna is a portion of his expansion of Vamana. This is the proof. O sage, I gave this share of sacrifice previously to Vishnu. O Narada, now I am seeing Krishna as my younger brother Vamana. This is the proof. This is statement of Indra concerning the Parijata incident. I have given that portion of sacrifice made by me, Indra, for Vishnu to Krishna. Okay, so made by me, Indra, for Vishnu, I have given it to Krishna. As a great favor I have given. I do not hate him, even though he has acted against me. Out of prema, I see Krishna as Vamana, as a younger brother. So this is Indra explaining to Narada why he fought for the Parijata. Because the Parijata is a heavenly tree, I should not give it to him, because he resides on the earth planet. So,
yeah, that's why he fought with him. He
Yeah.
thought he was his younger brother.
yeah. So I don't hate him, he's my younger brother. But still I have to uphold Dharma. And Dharma says that this is meant only for me to enjoy. It's not meant for humans. And maybe he's the Lord, but he plays the role of a human being. So it's not meant for him. That's impeccable logic. Only that it's
Krishna did not like it.
not only Krishna, but even more important, Satyabhama didn't like it. And if she doesn't like something, you're in trouble.
But Indra wouldn't have said anything if it wasn't for his wife. She told him.
These are very complicated matters. Yeah. In Brihad Bhagavatamrita, when Narada Muni and Shiva, they converse, and then Shiva explains that he is not the greatest devotee. The devotees from Vaikuntha are the greatest devotees. And then Shiva's wife, she's a little disturbed that Shiva doesn't mention that amongst all devotees of Vaikuntha, Lakshmi is the greatest devotee, and she's expansion of Lakshmi. So she makes the point. And then Narada Muni is ecstatic. He wants to go to Vaikuntha to offer obeisance to Lakshmi. And then he's just about to go. And then Shiva kind of pulls him a little bit aside, and he says, there is even greater devotee than Lakshmi Devi. And that's Prahlad. But he says this, he tells this like so that his wife doesn't hear, because she'll be upset if he says this to her. So it's always these intricacies. Because tattva is tattva, but then rasa is more important. And if you upset the relationship, even if you are right, then you are wrong. This is what Akrura learned when he upset the gopis' love for Krishna. And many other people also, they had to learn.
Krishna with Rukmini, and then there was Rukmini's brother. And they had this gambling match, and Krishna didn't say anything because he didn't want to offend Balaram or his wife. He stayed out of it.
Yeah. Or when they killed the demon Shankachuda, and they took not Shankachuda, was it Shankachuda? He stole the Shamantaka jewel, and then Krishna took the jewel, and then
Satyajit.
It belonged to Satyajit before that, right? No, he killed Satyajit, the demon. So the point is that there were all these gopis, and they were all expecting that he would deliver the jewel to them, and Krishna just gave it to Balaram because he cannot say anything. Balaram is out of the league; he's not one of, so nobody can complain. So then Krishna has to be careful, because he doesn't want to upset the devotees. And when you read Brihad Bhagavatamrita, this is a major consideration for Krishna, because all devotees want to be with him, and according to Laghu Bhagavatamrita, this is the criteria for somebody, if somebody attains the mercy of Krishna. That means he is with Krishna. He has personal association with Krishna, long time. And this is how they determine who is higher and who is lower devotee. Of course, there is no lower and higher; they are all absolute. But that's how the book. That's the logic of the book. And for example, Prahlad Maharaj, when Narada Muni goes to him, Prahlad Maharaj says, I have not received the mercy of the Lord because the Lord appeared. That's true, and he saved me. But this was so short. The moment when I had his association was so short that now it appears like a dream to me. It's like it didn't happen. It happened in a dream, in some distant past, distant land. I didn't actually have association with the Lord. And then there are devotees who had association with the Lord, more than me. So, yeah, anyway. But what was the point? I forgot.
The rasa.
Yeah, the rasa is more important. And the association with the Lord.
Krishna doesn't want to upset anybody.
Yeah. Anyway, there was something else. I remember. But you see, here Indra is like a sharp moralist. He defends this is the rule, and like a bureaucrat, the rule should be followed. So bureaucrats, they'll deny even Krishna. Krishna comes and he says something. I want this. Please give me this one. And then the bureaucrat will say no because it's against the rule. But Krishna is the origin of all rules. The main rule is to please him. No. So we should be careful also not to. Okay, 31, a footnote. The Vedic sacrifice known as Indra was first performed by Indra himself. Because Krishna became his younger brother in the form of Vamanadev, Indra always feels affectionate to him, even when there is a cause of quarrel, as in the situation Indra is addressing in this verse. Krishna is trying to take the heavenly Parijata tree to Dwarka. The portion of oblations which Indra previously offered in the name of Lord Vishnu, he now offers to Vamana, whom he identifies with Krishna. But because it is forbidden for the Parijata flower to be brought down to the earth, Indra feels obliged to refuse Krishna's request and oppose any attempt to take the tree by force. Less intelligent persons take this statement as indicating that Krishna is an expansion of Lord Vamana. But actually Krishna does not say which of the two, Krishna and Vamana, or Vamana, he considers the original. So there is no explicit statement. Maybe taken in this way, but it's wrong. He doesn't really say this. That's the point. Okay. It is contradictory to say that Krishna is the expansion of Narayana and Vamana. Actually, it has already been stated that Narayana and Vamana are expansions of Krishna, and Krishna is in a supreme position. This verse refutes the argument. Why is Krishna not an avatar of Narayana or Vamana? It has been stated that they are the avatars of Krishna. Etecham Shakala Pumsa shows that Narayana and Vamana are portions of Krishna. This is also seen in Harivamsha. This verse shows why they are amshas of Krishna. Tatatvam means position as amshas. Tatatvam. Thus Narada said, previously Aditi did penance to worship Vishnu. Vishnu was very satisfied and offered her a boon. O Indra, she requested to have a son like the Lord. Vishnu said, there is no one on earth who is equal to me. I will become your son, Vamana, as an amsha or part. The statement of Narada, being stronger than the previous statement of Indra, defeats the truth of the previous statement that Krishna is an expansion of Vamana. The supreme position, Paravasta, of Krishna will be explained later. That supreme position and perfect position is glorified in the scriptures. Thus, because Krishna is Paravasta, it is clearly seen that Krishna, being an Amsha of Narayana or Vamana, is contradictory. But cannot Krishna be an Amsha of Narayana? Because Krishna is Paravasta, it is contradictory to say that he is an Amsha of Narayana or Vamana. The alternative sense of those statements should also be noted. Though there are many statements to show that Krishna is Paravasta, the author gives an alternative meaning to the verses quoted above in order to negate the apparent meaning of those verses. On the first statement, there is this explanatory verse. Then Krishna and Arjuna, merging the identities of Nara Narayana in themselves, appeared in the moon dynasty. So this is the meaning. Nara Narayana became one with Krishna and Arjuna. Because there should be no faults in contradiction in the Puranas, the alternative meaning is more suitable. So if we take their meaning, then there is a contradiction between Bhagavatam and this Purana. So this cannot be true. So our meaning is correct because it includes their pramana, but takes it in a proper way. The second verse can be explained as follows. Nara Narayana, the expansions of Vishnu, entered Krishna and Arjuna at the end of Dvapara Yuga. The meaning was given in the previous commentary. The third verse can be explained as follows. He who is the first sage, because he teaches even Brahma, and who is the shelter of the three Purusha avataras, Narayana, who personally helps the men of this material world, praised and worshipped Narada. Though Krishna is the guru of Narada, as his portion Narayana Rishi, he worshipped Narada as part of his conduct as a Kshatriya. Okay. Though Krishna is the guru of Narada, as Narayana Rishi, he worshipped Narada as part of his being a Kshatriya. According to the Gopala Upanishad, at the beginning of the Kalpa, Krishna taught Brahma. Thus Krishna is called the ancient sage. The word Nara, in the highest sense, means the Purusha avataras. The shelter, Ayana, of the three Purushas, Nara, is called Narayana. This is explained in the Brahma Samhita. Thus Krishna is called Narayana. He is called Nara Saka because he enjoys pastimes with the humans. Because he imitates the actions of humans, he worships Narada. Though as Badarisha he is the guru of Narada, here he worships Narada. The fourth verse is explained as follows. Indra, not being intelligent, said these words out of envy. Thus Krishna never takes the position of being an avatara of these forms. The Kena Upanishad says that Indra, Agni and Vayu know about Brahman. So why was Indra ignorant in this case? His knowledge became covered for the purpose of the Lord's pastimes. He became envious of Krishna's superior position. Thus, in conclusion, Krishna never becomes an Amshas of Narayana or Vamana. Okay, we'll stop here because now the next new discussion begins. The Paravasta forms. Okay, now there will be a discussion of the Paravasta forms. Okay, we'll start next time. Okay. We'll end up here. Om Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare Gaur.